my name is Caroline. Welcome to my channel, my little corner of the internet where I talk all about cross stitch, sewing, knitting, and all the other crafty things I get up to. It's been a while, again. I feel like this year has just not been my year of filming. I even thought, do I still want to do this? Is this still something I enjoy? And the answer is yes, I do, even if I really didn't have the time, the energy, or whatever to film for quite a while. And the things I wanted to show you started piling up, and it got more and more. And also, my 2-year Flosstube anniversary came and went 1 month ago. I I think I uploaded my very first video September 25th of 2023. Today is Sunday, October 26th, 2025. So last year I did a WIP parade for my Flosstube anniversary, and I thought I am going to film a WIP parade for you and for me today, because I need to show you so many WIPs anyway, and I want to film a WIP parade before the end of the year comes along, and there are tons of WIP parades coming up, which is great. But yeah, I also really enjoy a WIP parade during the year. So this is what we're going to do today. If you are new on this channel, hi, welcome. As I said, my name is Caroline. I am from Austria, and I have been stitching 2.5 years, I would say. And I have been in a rabbit hole, and I have been stitching a lot since then. As of today, I have in my Notion 46 WIPs. But while I prepared everything, I realized that there are 2 WIPs that are not in my Notion. So technically I have 48. I am not too concerned by my WIP count. I don't really care about the count too much. I'm just sad that I don't get to everything as much as I would like. But then again, I want to start all the things. So what can you do? We are going through all my WIPs by start date, starting with the oldest, ending with the newest. And I also, while I do this, want to determine if there are some I don't want to continue on while preparing. I didn't think so, but who knows? I also want to figure out if I want to do a focus project next year that I want to divide into 12 or 10 or whatever and finish. For sure. And I also want to maybe determine in which way I want to do WIP Go next year. This year I'm doing WIP Go with all my BAPs, and all of them are twice on my board, and when they're called I'm doing at least 1,000 stitches. So yeah, I have not decided yet what I'm going to do next year, so I want to take the opportunity and do that as well. Yeah, that was a long intro, I feel, for a WIP parade. So I would say, let's get started. Oh, and if you haven't yet, grab a drink, grab some stitching. This could take a while. From the year 2023, my first year of stitching, I have 6 projects left. I just recently finished a huge stitch that I started in 2023. It is my Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. Yes, I finished it, finally. I hope to show it to you, maybe even framed, soon. Also thinking of doing a finish parade. Let me know down below if you are interested in one, or maybe even a kit parade, or both. Yeah, would love your input on that, but let's start with the WIPs. The oldest WIP I have still going is Hanna Mandala by Ink Circles. I started this on June 15th, 2023. This didn't get any progress at all for a very long time until I've had it in my temperature stitching. For temperature stitching, I assign projects to digits, and stitch 100 stitches on the project that corresponds with the temperature of a day. So since then, this finally got progress. This is where I'm up to. I'm at about 60% at the moment, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count, I think light mocha linen by Zweigart 2/2. And I'm doing it with a variegated DMC for 130. It's this orange to red to pink, very pretty. I will come closer. Yeah, I love how this looks. It's gorgeous, but ink circles, it's a mandala. You basically do the same thing 4 times. And somehow with this project, I am struggling with where to go, how to stitch it. It's a lot of swiggly diggly doodads. So yeah, it's gorgeous, but I'm struggling, which is why temperature stitching and 100 stitches at a time is perfect for this. I think that's it. So all those project, this is in my temperature stitching and will stay in my temperature stitching, so this will go to pile number 1. All right. Next up, my next oldest project is Summer Quaker by Lila Studio or Lila Studio. I started this August 1st, 2023. I started this for Hege Stitches and Mantles Live in the Sunshine Cell. And yeah, back then I did a conversion to anchor threads because I really can't get DMC here in stores. So I did a conversion to anchor threads, bought them, and started 2/2 on 35 count natural linen by Zweigart. Yeah, I would not do that now, at least not for a project that big. And then this summer I finally finished the border. Oops, upside down. Here we are. So it's gorgeous. The colors are a little bit different than what's called for because anchor. And now that all of the border is finally done, I will go in and do the middle motif in a Salki conversion that I did because, yeah, that's basically full coverage and I'm not doing that in 2/2. This is at about 57% at the moment. I love it. It looks great. I love it, the color of the fabric. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I can get it to 75% next year and then finish it in 2027. I won't put this on a WIP Go board because this is something I want to stitch on in summer, in the season, and I think I will do that. So this can just stay in my WIP box, basket, pile, whatever. My next WIP is September by the Cricket Collection. I started this August 31st, 2023. And this has been very slow going until I put it into my temperature stitching again this autumn. And yeah, why is this slow going? This has so many colors. It really doesn't need that many colors, but yeah, it is what it is. It's 2/2 and 32 count. Not my favorite anymore. I do it sometimes, but would I do a project that big? No. So yeah, this is stitched on 32 count marbled hazelnut linen by Extra U Designs. And this is where I'm up to. I'm doing the called for colors 2/2. The color in the letters is a Threadworks thread gatherer silk, and the rest is a mix of DMC and no name thread because back then I didn't know any better. But it's fine. So yeah. This is what it looks like for now. I have set the yeah, brain freeze. I have 4 letters to go. At least I'm getting progress now on this. So I have December and April done and still don't know how to fully finish them because they're so different in length. September, December are way longer than April, obviously. So I don't know yet. Maybe like a soft finish and hang it. Yeah. I don't know. But at least this is getting progress. I actually love stitching on this. I'm always happy when this comes up from a temperature stitching. And I haven't shown you project bags. Let's start that now. This is in a vinyl front project bag. Almost all my project bags I made. So yeah, this is a very old 70s fabric I got from my grandma. Okay, so this goes onto my temperature stitching pile. My next WIP is one I'm changing up. So this is Lettre Carmin by Reflet de Soie. Mine is out of the Gift of Stitching magazine, but you can get this as a PDF from her website. And I am stitching mine on a 46 count seashell linen by XTU Designs with 2 anchor colors in red, 1/2. This was the first time I ever tried 46 count and realized it's not that bad. And sorry. And this is where I'm up to. So this has been on my WIP Go board this year. Let's just do it that way. My needle minder is very cute, but also very heavy. So this is where I am, and I realized I don't want to do the whole thing. It's just, I like it. I really like how it looks. I also don't mind stitching on it. I just don't need the whole big red thing. I don't have enough anchor floss to finish it, so I would have to buy more, and I've had dial-out issues with anchor before. Also, there are specialty stitches and ribbon in there, which I don't know how I would do that on the 46. So what I'm going to do is just finish it up till here and then make a little red thing out of it. And this got called for WIP Go in November, so maybe I can manage to finish this up in November, which would be great to have a finish. Yeah. As I said, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't feel the need to do the whole thing. So this can actually go to my Stitch in November pile. It helps if you press play after you pause your video for sneezing. So I already took it out of the bag. Let's do this again. In here lives my next WIP. I started this December 17th, 2023. It was a restart because I had already started this in August 2023, but then started on the wrong spot on the fabric and wouldn't have been able to fit it all. This is Christmas Quaker by Daily Pattern Post. You can find it on Etsy. And yeah, here we are. I'm stitching this on a 32 count opalescent natural by Zweigart, 2/2 with very over-dyed greens and reds, and a DMC white and a Petit Treasure Braid gold. The original is monochromatic, but I pick and choose colors. I love how this looks. I love how bold it is. Would I start another huge piece 2/2 with overdyes? Probably not, but I also don't want to abandon this because it's awesome. This doesn't get nearly enough love, and I think this will be the first contender for WIP Go board next year, however that will look. And yeah, I'm at 13.3% on this. This will take forever to finish, but yeah. Oh well. So we will start a WIP Go focus pal here and then go for that later. All right, one last project from 2024 left, and it's a biggie again. It lives in this project bag that I need to repair. It's a very cute one. This is the Biedermeier sampler 1864 by GGR. I started this on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2023, together with Shiloh Xstitch MD. She showed this pattern on her channel and I fell in love, even though I really don't like the original color choice. So yeah, I did my own color conversion to blues and browns, and I love how this is coming along. I have to say though, the quality of the pattern from TGR is, in my opinion, not good. The cover photo is really small and you cannot really tell a lot. The symbol choices are not good. They're very similar symbols. It's not very clear. It's tiny and it's a huge pattern. So I took the paints and recharted the whole thing into my max stitch so that I have a nice thing to stitch from, which makes such a difference for me. Plus, I could map out which color I wanted to go where, which is also helping a lot. I finally need to show you. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha 1/2 with DMC colors. I mean, I love this. It's gorgeous. It's just amazing. I had this out in February, March for WIP Go, and it got cold again for November. And I need to make a change in my colors because there are some leaves here and here, and you really cannot see them. It's too light. I need to change that color. Need to get out my DMC shade card, find a color, and change it in my Max Stitch markup. It's already markup, so I will change it in markup. Yeah. I have all my patterns in markup. I will only stitch from markup. I will go to great pains to get a pattern into markup if I have to, because I just don't enjoy stitching from anything else, and so that's why I do it. Yeah, this is at 10.3%. Quite a ways to go, but it's gorgeous. And yeah, this will probably go to onto my WIP Go board next year. But for now, it will go to my November stitching pile because it got called for November. And with that, the first year is done. Let's start with 2024. I have the most WIPs left from 2024, obviously. Let's see if I can top that in 2025. But yeah, okay. The first WIP from 2024 lives in this cute project bag I made. This in the front is a stitch I did. This is from the Evertoad Advent Calendar 2024. And yeah, I thought it matched that fabric perfectly. And in here lives Celestial Sampler by Cooler Design. I started this January 25th, 2024, on the first full moon of 2024. And yeah, this was in temperature stitching for a while and got some progress in there. But then I stopped. Yeah, so now I have the projects with the least amount of stitches left in my temperature stitching. So there are a lot of new ones in there because I started a lot of small ones recently. I'm not sure if that's the way to go forward, but for now, it is what it is. This is on a crazy fabric. This is 32 count Beach Party by Barbarol Creations, opalescent 2, so it's sparkly. And I'm at 28.8% on this. There is backstitch on in this area. There's none in here yet. This is gorgeous. I think this needs to go on a focus pile. However, I'm going to do that. yeah, for now, let's put it here. Then, next up is in a very cute bunny project bag. So, at first I did a lot of vinyl front project bags, but I actually prefer the fabric ones because nothing gets stuck to it. I feel you can shove more in. So I made this for Spring Quaker by Lila Studio. I had a hard time finding fabric for this because I wanted to change all the Quaker motifs in the border to greens, and I wanted a light green fabric, and there was nothing I could find. Plus, I'm in Austria, so it's hard for me to get fabric. Ordering fabric online is meh, you don't never know what you're getting. So I dyed my own fabric. I started this stitch on April 13th, 2024, for my friend Alex's birthday. And also Sally Flossy Sews and Grows also joined us, plus a few other people. And I got so much progress on this. I am over 50% on this. I This is again 36 count because I want to do all the seasons in the same count to have them, yeah, similar sizes. I started in the middle this time, did the whole basket, 2/2 with the called for DMC. No, I think there is, so called for are some overdyes, some DMC. I'm doing the full DMC conversion for the basket. And then I was fed up with the 2/2. So what I'm doing in the border now, this is getting big. I'm doing the regular motifs in the DMC, and I'm doing the Quaker motifs in different green sulky 1/2. And this is helping a lot and helped me got quite a bit of progress. I really enjoy stitching on that. I love the fabric. It's great. So this, yeah, will go into my pile. It will come out in spring again, and I will be stitching on that to hopefully also 75% in spring. The next one really deserves a nicer project bag than this, but this is Parchment Tapestry by Rosewood Manor. I had been eyeing this for a long, long time, and I love it so much. And then I finally started it on April 21st, 2023, my 1 year anniversary of stitching. And yeah, I did not get a lot done in the first year, and then I had it on my WIP Go board this year, and this moves quicker than you would think. I'm doing this on 40 count cream and sugar linen by Fire on a Whim, with all of the called for overdyed weeks, 1/2, and this is one that I didn't iron. I ironed most of them. Oh, yeah. So this is at 17.2% at the moment. It's so great how the colors come out and the variegation. I think this also needs to go on a WIP Go board again. Will I have all my projects on a WIP Go pile at the end? We will see. Next up, again in a project bag that I made from a stitch. And in here lives my long dog. This is Albert and Effie by Long Dog Samplers. This is one you don't see that much online, but I really, really like it. I like the story they wrote about it. And yeah, I started this May 3rd, 2024, and I am at 24.1%. Not bad. Here we are. So this is stitched on a 36 count deep impact linen by XJU Designs with one thread of a dark blue sulky. I started in the middle and then worked my way up here. I had this with me on vacation this year and got quite a bit done. And yeah, this is stunning. And I had already been thinking about this. So I did a modern folk embroidery this year and last year, and as a focus piece for the year. And I think this might be a contender for next year's focus piece to get it done by the end of the year. Yeah, it. I will. Let me check. How many stitches does this have? This has 37,306, and left are 28,308. If we divide that by 52 weeks, that takes us to just over 500 stitches a week. I don't know if I want to do that many stitches a week again next year, because I did 750 to 800 on my Fruits of Plenty this year, and it was a lot. So I think it's not time for this one yet to be a yearly focus. So this will go in my WIP go pile to get more progress, and then maybe in 2027. So that's what we're here for. What we're here for. So yeah. Oh well. I thought it would be possible, and it is possible for me to do that, but it's just a bit too much. Let's get to the next one. It lives in my oldest project bag that is not very, very, very stable, but it works. In here is Athena by Carolyn Manning. I started this May 12, 2024, and it's tiny. I think this is my first tiny stitch. It's cute. This is at 13.4%. I'm doing this 101 on 27 count Vintage Country Mocha Even Weave by Zweigart with all the code for DMC. It doesn't get a lot of love, but it's cute. Also, I don't feel the need to stitch on that a lot. It is what it is. This will go into my regular WIP pile. It can stay there. I don't mind. The next one, this is a hard one, and this is one I might be UFOing. It lives in a gorgeous bag that I made. Look at those cats. That's my Mario peeking out here. This is Cat Garden by Una Buena Piezza. I started this May 20th, 2024. I'm at 9.5%. And I'm doing this on a 32 count light taupe by Zweigart. It's an even weave. I started in the middle, and it's not, so it's super cute. A very, very cute one. But it has a ton of colors, so many color changes. There is a ton of backstitch on top of that. I love the idea of it. I just don't love stitching it. And yeah, I thought of putting it into temperature stitching, but then again, I'm not the biggest fan of the pixelated style. I like it. That's why I started it, and it has cats. I just think I would rather stitch something else catty. I hate UFOing stuff, especially cute stuff. But yeah, this will go to the UFO pile. If for some reason you're shouting at me now saying, don't UFO this, don't do it, let me know down below why I shouldn't. We're getting to the hard ones. So in May 2024, I did Mania, and I didn't start something every day, but I started a lot. And for quite a few of them right now, I'm like, do I really, am I really that into them? The next one is another one of those where I'm just not sure. This is Summer Plums by the Artsy Housewife. I started this May 23rd, 2024, and I'm not even 6% done with this. I love the thing. I think I joined her Patreon for that stitch. I just don't know if I want to stitch that. This is how far I am. This is on 36 count Mirage by Picture This Plus. I'm doing it with the DMC conversion, 1/2. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's too sparse. I don't know. That's a hard one. Also, I don't have all the colors I need in there, so I really should do that. Yeah, no, I'm not ready to let that go. I think I need to. I will put that onto my November to-do pile to get all the colors in, stitch a little bit, and then decide. The next one is again one that I'm not sure what to do with. I love this. I love how it looks. I just don't think I want to stitch the whole huge thing. Let me check how many. So this has 18,000 stitches left. This is a sampler garden by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I'm doing this 1/2 with Sulky on 32 count. Vintage Country Wood. This is this one, but on the back side. And this is where I got up to. And yes, I like how it looks. I really do. But I don't feel like doing the whole thing. That's one of the corners. So what I was thinking is I will just do the corner. So stitch the frame down and up and fill it. And then make it into the corner of a project bag, because I think that could look very cute. And I really don't think I want the whole thing. So this could be a quick finish. That's what I will do. I will put that on my November pile as well. Oh my god. Or this year pile. Let's say focus this year pile to get that done. And yeah, it's a gorgeous stitch. Just don't think I will ever do the whole thing. So if my nose is getting redder and redder and my eyes are getting glassier and glassier, I have a mixture of leftover cold, allergies, and Flosstube itchy nose, which makes for a lovely editing. Yay! All right, back to stitching and back to one that I will continue for sure. This also deserves a lovely project bag. This is With Thy Hands by Teresa Kogut. I started this May 27th, 2024 with my friend Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows. And this doesn't have a lot of progress, but I love it. This is on 40 count light mocha linen by Zweigart. It's not huge. This is at exactly 10%. I'm doing it with the call for colors, except for that green. I think that's called for kutsu, and I didn't really see any difference to this one, so I changed it to another overdyed. I love this. It's gorgeous. I had trouble stitching on that linen last time because I had so many knots until I used a bohine needle, and that made it way better. So I don't know. Yeah, I think this needs to go on my focus pile, on my WIP Go whatever pile. As I said, will there be too many WIPs on there? Maybe. We will deal with that later. The next one is one of the few ones that I haven't stitched on at all since my last WIP parade. It lives in this wonderful fabric project bag. And in here is my only dimensions, my only stitch where I stitch like a fancy lady in a way. Anyway, this is Wind Moon Fairy by Dimensions Gold. And I started this June 15th, 2024 with my friend Cinta from Crafting on the Plains. And I'm using all the kit floss, but I changed the fabric because I don't like to stitch on. Well, I like to stitch on some Ada, but I don't like to stitch on crunchy Ada. And so now I'm doing this on 32 count vintage gray even weave by Zweigart. Yeah, and that's what I did in the beginning, and that's all that I have. So yeah, I have this in markup because you can reach out the dimensions, and if you have proof that you have the kit, they will send you a PDF. Yes, I think they still do that. Just check if you wanted that, and yeah, only 10 stitch so far. I don't mind that. I just didn't stitch on it that much. It will go back in my WIP pile. That's fine. I thought, do I need to UFO this? But I don't want to. I just don't feel the urge to stitch on that a lot, but I'm looking forward to getting more into the lady. Jacinta had a great idea of only doing of using like a dark sky blue black and only doing the lady in the front and not doing the background. Maybe that would be an idea. But for now, back into my WIP pile. And back to sneezing. I will be Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, at the end of this. But you're here for the WIPs, not for how I look, right? But speaking of Rudolph, I have 2 Christmas WIPs coming up. Yeah? I started 2 projects for Christmas in July last year. The first one was actually a restart. Dangly thing. I have it in this gorgeous project. I mean, I love this so much. And in here I live my Days of Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews. I started this July 14th, 2024 for Cross Stitch the Globe Stephanie's birthday. And I am now doing all the Days of Christmas on a one piece of fabric. Well, that's the goal. So this is what I have so far. I am stitching them on 25 count even weave. It's an opalescent that I overdyed myself, and if I fold this up, yes, you can see how it looks. I love it. Yeah. So I started with day 2 because I have day 1 done on, and then realized I don't like it on that fabric. So I didn't want to stitch it quite yet again. So I have 2 day almost day 2. Oh my god, how hard can it be? So almost done. There is a place here where you can put the day, the year, and that doesn't really make any sense for this for me. I don't know. I will probably just add in some snowflakes. And then I have the border of day 1 and 3. And what I will do is finish day 3 and day 1, and then decide if I want to go off. So that I could just do a few if I wanted. This well, I think this has one more day in December on my WIPGO board, so that's good. And do I want this on WIPGO next year? Probably should. I will put it on a maybe WIPGO. So we will see. I don't have a percentage for you with that because obviously I'm putting all of them together, so I don't have any idea. Next up, Christmas again. I started this one in this wonderful project bag. Let's tell you what it is first. This is Percy Penguin by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I just fell in love with the huge penguin. But I started this on July 24th, 2023, together with my friend Alex Stitches, for the Christmas house sale, because it also has a Christmas house. And that's why I started in the bottom right corner, which I don't usually do, to get to that house. And yeah, it's cute. I love how it looks. So here's the house. There we got the penguin. This is at 15.6%. And I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country mocha 1/2 with overdyed threads that are similar to the called for, but some of the called for, but not all of them. So those are my colors. The Roxy Floss I subbed in. I think Ruby Slippers is called for. Yeah, it's just close matches, and I really enjoy this one. This doesn't get too much progress. This could be a contender to replace my Christmas stitch. Let me check. Yes, it is. So this year I'm doing a Christmas stitch every month so that it is done by Christmas, and it will be done. And this one has 12,000 stitches left on it. So if I do 1,000 on this every month next year, it will be done by Christmas 2026. So I think I'm going to do that. Where do I put this now? I will put it in my WIP file, but keep that in mind. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's very doable. My next stitch is one where I did a complete color conversion. This is a little bit of spring by Blackbird Designs. I was immediately drawn to this pattern, but I somehow thought that house needs to be blue. I don't know why. It's not that I don't like the original. I do. I just think, yeah, it lives in this project bag. And yeah, as I said, a little bit of spring. I started this August 17th, 2024. And here we are. So I did a complete color conversion. I'm stitching this on a 46 count linen that I dyed myself. 1/2 with a variety of overdyed floss from my stash. And yeah, I changed 1 to 1. So 1 red to 1 blue or purple or whatever. And so far, I'm super happy. I love stitching on that. I don't mind the 46 on this at all. I had this in my temperature stitching for a while because it doesn't have too much left, and I'm at 37.8%. So, oh, I love this. It's gorgeous. Let me show you the colors. These, they are a bit, ugh. Yeah. These are the colors that I'm using. And one day I will get to writing down what I used. This is, I like a lot of my projects, but every time I stitch on this, I like it. So this doesn't need to go into any game or something because I grabbed this. Yeah, I like it. Next up is one I'm thinking of making a focus out of, but I'm not sure. This is the Quaker by Star Parade Designs. I started this on September 2nd, 2024 with a bunch of friends that I met at Big Stitch. We were on a table together, and then Michael from Star Parade Designs sat at our table for a while and showed us his stitch of that pattern, and we went crazy and then decided to start it together for the quack along. And yeah, I'm doing something very different. This is mine so far. I am stitching this on an 18 count Ada in Beanstalk by Fiber on a Whim, 1/2 with Sulky. The gorgeous, cute needle minder is from Laura Cotton and Clay. And quite a few people are planning to finish this by Big Stitch next year. I'm at 13.1%. And this leaves me with 13,000 stitches. I had thought about making this a focus piece and trying to finish this by Big Stitch next year, which is at the end of June. Yeah, I don't think so. It's Ada. I can't. I will chip away at this, maybe even put it into WIP Go, but nah. I won't. I can't. I don't mind it. It's the Ada is fine because it's very soft. I just don't like it that much. Next up is one that gave me a little bit of a headache, but it's now fine. This is Rowanberry Garland by Magic Needle. It is a kit. And the thing with this is I had reached out to Magic Needle for a PDF file, and they sent me a Saga file. So I started stitching this in the Saga app. I mean, it's kind of them to send me the Saga file, but I don't like that app. I'm not used to it. I'm used to markup. So it was a pain. I didn't want to stitch on it. I had so little done. And then I finally took the time and put it into my Mac Stitch so that I have a PDF now that I have in markup, and I stitched so much on it this year. I love it. It's now at 10.9%. I'm using the kit floss, but stitching it on a 32 count light taupe even weave. And this is where I'm up to. I mean, doesn't this look stunning? I started in the middle, worked my way to the top. I love this so much. It's gorgeous. This is again one where I was thinking about making this a focus piece for next year and dividing it by 12. It has 27,000 stitches left. So if we divide that by 52, it's 519 every week. So similar to similar to Albert and Effie, but it seems smaller. Again, and with this, there is quite a bit of 10 stitch in the back, so that's quick. And plus, I really love this. Sunflowers are my favorite flower. I would hang this in my living room. So this might be a contender for a focus piece next year. Even though it's a lot of stitches every week again. Help, please. What would you do? I will put it here to think about making this a focus piece. Next one is Cabin in the Woods by Flossabilities. It lives in this chicken bag. Why? Because I had it left over. I started this September 21st with my friend Alex from Silex Stitches and a few other people. And I didn't have a lot done on this. And then for its birthday this year, I got it out and made some progress. It's at 10.5% now. I'm stitching this with the Cold for DMC 1/2 on this 40 count linen that I dyed myself. It is quite a bit tricky to stitch because it's very dark, but yeah, it's okay. At least you can travel for the stars. Yeah, it's a gorgeous stitch. I'm not making huge progress, but it's fine. It's again one that I'm happy with. It will stay in my WIP pile and will come out once in a while. And I'm thinking of putting all my projects that are not in something else on a reel, and just if I don't know what to stitch on, spin that wheel, because yeah. Next up, why do all my Teresa Kogut's live in those bags? This is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I started this on September 27th, 2024 with my friend Alex from Silex Stitches. And we're doing this on the same fabric on one of my favorite neutrals, beige gray linen by XGU Designs. This one we're doing on 46 count because it's big, 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 big. Yeah, I don't know if it will need the whole thing, but it will need quite a bit of it. And this year, this was 2 times in my WIP goal, plus I stitched on it on its birthday, so I got it to 7.5%. I'm doing this with the called for colors, so DMC and 2 overdyes, 1/2. It looks so good on that fabric. Amazing. This is also one that I recharted completely to get it into markup, and it was totally worth it. So I think I have all the colors in now. I'd like to see all of the colors, but the fabric is just so good. I got it in 40 count as well and have it in my stash. This will go on the WIP Go pile. Then another big one. This is in this project bag that doesn't match the theme, but oh well. This is Halloween Sampler by Crochet a Go-Go. And I started this on October 3rd, 2023. And quite a few people started this last year. I know that Chen from Chen's Fiber Web did. Alex started it. So you can see it quite a bit. And it's great. I also really like stitching on this. And this is where I am. I started in the middle. I had this on my WIP Go board, and my goal was to finish up the house, which I managed to do. And then, yeah. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count old Massachusetts linen by Primitive Hair that I think is coffee dyed. And I'm doing 1/2 with the called for colors in CXC. And the CXC on the 40 count is so, it gives such a nice coverage, but it's still okay to stitch, I think. So yeah. This year I basically did the whole house and worked over here. There is a lot to go, but it's fun. I don't mind. So take it easy. Gorgeous, gorgeous project. And will this come out this year again? I don't know. Those are my colors. A little messy. So I think that will go onto my WIP Go board pile as well. Ooh. Then, next up, I started this on October 12th, 2024. I started this in London. This is a special piece. It lives in a wonderful project bag that I made. I love this. This is Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House. And for this, I ordered the silk conversion pack from the attic because I was inspired by Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Yeah, so I ordered the silk pack and oops. They are Dinky Dice, Belsoir, and Gamnut. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Desert Dye Pan by Fox and Rabbit. And this is where I got up to during WIP Go stitching this year. I'm at 14.4%. And the thing with this is some of the silks are a little bit weird color-wise. So why does this have brown leaves? I need to make some changes to the colorways to have like a more, yeah, to make more sense. So this basket is greenish. Those are brownish. Maybe the styler changes. I don't know. But I need to think about this a little more, so that's why it got stalled a bit. But I want to continue with this with WIP Go next year so that it keeps getting progress, so it will go on to my ever-growing pile here. Next one is Halloween Tree by Renato Paolin. My friend Alex convinced me to start this, and at first I was like, yeah, well, I will start it. But I love it so much now. I got huge amounts of progress last year, stitched a little bit on it this year. It lives in this project bag. I hope you can't hear my neighbor vacuuming the entryway. If you can, I'm sorry. So, yeah, Halloween, back to Halloween tree. I'm stitching this on a 36 count fabric by Coffee Craft Fabric. She doesn't name her fabrics. I love how soft this is. And this that fabric isn't this stunning? This is where I am up to. This I don't know the percentage right now because obviously I didn't put it into markup, but I have quite a bit done. I'm using not exactly the called for colors, but similar ones that I had in stash. I'm using CXC 1/2 on 36 count. And I got stalled a little bit because there are some squirrels and owls that I need to put in here to make sense counting off of them. And the color that I had planned for them, 841, is not showing up on that fabric. So I had to put in another color. Now I did that. So yeah, I want to stitch on that a little bit more this week. On this week to Halloween. So that will go onto my stitch that soon pile. Yeah, I'm so surprised that I love this so much. And yeah, let's just enjoy it. The fabric is great. The 1/2 on the 36 count is great with CXC. It's a lot of block stitching. It's brown, but it's not boring. Yeah. Next one is Matter in Hand by Jeanette Douglas Designs. I don't have a stitch count for that either. Apparently, I didn't like putting that in October last year. Need to go and do that. This I made some changes to this. So the original has the backstitched words in between the motifs, and a lot of people are not sure about them. I didn't like them, and so I removed them and squished the whole thing a little bit so it's a little bit smaller than the original. And this is my first time stitching with Vicky Clayton silks, and oh my god, amazing, amazing, amazing. I love them so much. This is where I got up to. I just recently stitched on that for its anniversary and got that finished and that whole tomato in. And yeah, I have some fill in here for that, so maybe I will keep that out for some fill in for Zoom calls. This will only go to down here. Yeah, this is stitched on 40 count Pemberley by Swan Bay Fabrics. I don't need the whole thing. I think it's going to be about that big. So not too bad. And yeah, I really enjoy stitching this. And this will go just in my WIP pile to come out for fill-in stitching. Next up is a full coverage. That's why it lives in a huge bag. And for this, I didn't even prepare all the flosses that I need. I just shoved them in a bag in the bag. This is one that I didn't think I would stitch, but I love it. This is Yule Goddess by Sunflower Stitches. And I just love the colors. It's so Christmassy, wintry. And I'm doing it with the called for colors, 2/1 10th stitch on 25 count easy grid. I am at 6.1%. The thing is, you all think that 10 stitch is quicker and easier than full cross on 25 count. For me, it isn't, because my brain likes full crosses. So I need to think more with 10 stitch. Now I already have this started in 10 stitch and don't really know what to do. What I think I might do is do the background, so of the blues, maybe even the trees. I mean, I started the trees, but I don't think that matters too much. Intent, and then go to full cross for the girl. But then that is also 10 stitch. Do you have any advice what you would do? Yeah, I will show you a full cross stitch project later. I just prefer the full cross, I think. I mean, this got called for November WIP Go, so I will continue over there probably with the dark blue background, and then see if I mind or if I need to figure out a way to switch to full cross for this. Yeah, those four coverages are will take forever, but it is what it is. Don't mind that much. Two more for 2024. The next one is Cheneviere Bird, 1844, I think, by Reflet de Soie. I got inspired last year at the Jingle Ball to start it. Kim, contented needleworker Kim, was working on this, and it was an immediate I need that now. So I went to their website and ordered the PDF and started it December 9th. And if you, by any chance, want to stitch that, please get the PDF. Don't try to stitch it from paper, because the symbols are frankly, how can I say this in a nice way? I can't, because I don't think it's okay how she charted this. I love the pattern, and but you need, in my opinion, you need marker or pattern keeper to stitch it, because there are like arrows going up, going this way, going down, going that side with similar colors next to each other. I would never ever be able to stitch that from paper, and Kim also said that it was very hard to stitch it from paper. So with markup, I don't care because it shows me where to stitch and what to stitch, so it's fine. All right. I was inspired by Kim also for the fabric, because Kim loves pink and she has a whole pink room. So I'm stitching this on a pink fabric. Can you believe that? This is where I am. That bird, amazing. This is a 40 count pink linen by Nicolas Flamel Designs. It doesn't have a name. And I'm at 7.2% on this. And I love it. It's great. Great. Yeah. I'm stitching this with the Cold for DMC. They're Cold for DMC, Avera Soie, and Overdyed. I don't think it needs anything else but the DMC. It looks so good with the DMC. They're a little bit of a mess. And yeah, let's show you again. I mean, look, it's very effective with the DMC. This will come out again in December for WIP Go, but I also think this needs to go on WIP Go next year because it's big, it needs progress. It is in this project bag that used to house my, what was in there? Fruits of Plenty until it got too big. It is made out of English paper pieced panel that I made ages ago. Last but not least, my last stitch from 2024 that will not continue with me to 2026. It lives in this super cute Christmas project bag. This is Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. I started this on Christmas Day last year, so December 25th. And as of yesterday, I'm at 79.6%. This is the Christmas piece I was talking about earlier. I want to have this done by Christmas this year, and I will have this done. Let me tell you. I have been working on this every month for the whole year. This is where I am. I'm stitching this on 40 count light nougat by XGO Designs. Love that fabric. I am doing my own silk conversion for this, just brighter colors. They are Mrs. Seda silks and silks for you. And yeah, so for November, my plan is to finish up this part here. And then for December, do the Christmas garden and the red berries, doodads. And that's it. I did 1,000 to 1,500 stitches on this every month. And yeah, I really enjoyed stitching on a Christmas piece every month. I used to get it out around the 25th of each month, sometimes a little early. Yeah, and that's, I think, what my Percy Penguin will replace next year, because this was a lot of fun. Or is a lot of fun. It's not done yet. All right, and with that, we are done with 2024. So what do we have remaining? My notion says we have 16 projects remaining for 2025, but as I said, there are 2 that are not in there, so 18. I need to go grab something to drink, grab my 2025 WIPs. For you, I will be back in a second. This year started with a lot of starts and finishes. So I started a lot of small things that are already done. Again, do you want to see a finish parade? Yeah. Please let me know. And then I started my first big project in March this year. It was actually a restart. I haven't touched it since. Oopsie. And it lives in my wonderful quilted project folder. In here is Anton Oufing 1835 by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. I restarted this on March 22nd, 2025, while I was at the sampler weekend at Stitch in London. I had originally started this on a 46 count linen, and I'm doing it with the called for Aviary silks, and this just doesn't work. It was too tight for me. It was not enjoyable to stitch. So I wanted to restart it on a 36 count because there's also 1/1 on that, and yeah. But I didn't have a fabric that was that big, and so I dyed my own, and I'm quite happy with it. So I don't have a percentage. I have charted this into max stitch to have it in markup, but I don't have the satin stitch and the text in, so this is where I am. As I said, I dyed that fabric myself. It's 46 count Swigard. I started at that flower, counted down to the border line, and then started that border. I was sat next to Carrie from Roxy Floss at my table, and she was like, "You're so quick, you're gonna finish that border on the weekend." I was like, "Well, let's make a challenge out of it." And I did, and I didn't even miscount. I have no idea how I managed that. I still know the numbers 9 and 11 to this date. Yeah. So now I can just go in and do flowers and whatever. Yeah. Woo. I love it. This needs to go into WIP Go next year. Yeah, super happy that I restarted this, that I have the whole borderline done now. It was so fun. I will always think of Carrie while stitching on this. Yeah, Anton Uffindel. Yeah, and then I somehow stumbled into starting huge projects, and here we are. I started this also inspired by Carrie, actually, because we were talking about dyeing fabrics and this project that she has on the go as well. And on April 12th, I couldn't resist anymore and started Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger by the Scarlet Letter. And I have it in a big, big project bag. And this project, I'm doing page per page. And I thought, I don't really want to do the background because there's a lot of green stitching. So you can already see I decided to dye my own fabric for this. And I decided to make it tiny and stitch it on 25 count, 1/1, full cross. Here we are. It looks so effective. It looks so good. I'm using the Cold for DMC, and I dyed this fabric myself. And it actually came out exactly like the 934 or 35 that is called for. I have no idea how I managed that. But yeah, super, super happy. This is also a very long time project because it's huge. And it's so good. This needs to go into a WIP go. Let's put it on that pile as well. Oops, sorry for shaking the camera here. Then the next day was another new start, but this one is not that big. I put it into this dragon project folder that I made because it matched the colors a bit. So this year, my friend Alex started a capybaric Quaker for her Quaker house for her birthday, and I went a little bit off of that. I started Matter's Choice by Carriage House Sampling. So it's in the family of capybaric. It's a house. Yeah. This one I haven't touched since. Oops, but it's already at 10.9%. So this is what I have. This is stitched on a 36 count fabric, linen by Coffee Craft Fabrics. Again, she doesn't have any names. And it is this gorgeous lilac-y gray that doesn't really come across. Yeah, I don't know how to show this to you. It's very pale. Yeah, maybe like that. And I just thought it went perfectly with this sulky 1189. So that's what I'm using. 1/2. This is not huge. As I said, I got 10.9% done in one day. And yeah, I haven't been back to this since. Yeah, but this is also not one that needs to go into a WIP go yet. Next one, I waited a little bit on starting another one that is still left over. Next one I started May 25th, 2025. I was seeing this everywhere and anywhere, and then I realized that I have the perfect fabric. This is Aviary by Cheneviere Stitch. And I made a sulky conversion for this because I'm stitching it on 32 count linen by Nicholas Flamel Designs. And I wasn't feeling the 2/2. And so here we are. I mean, I needed to start this because that fabric. Hello. Yeah. I'm at 15.2% on this. And yeah, as I said, sulky conversion. I also want to put that on my Wipgo board. Maybe next year it will be only once for most of them so that I can put more on. Because that pile is getting bigger and bigger. Right, next one. I also want to put. Oh, this isn't going to work, is it? Maybe I need to do 2 Wipgo boards, one for Babs and one for everything else. But then can I fit that in? I don't know. Next one. Lives in this project bag. So this is the First Day of Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews that I was talking about earlier. Stitched on 35 count white linen 2/2. And no, I'm not going to do all of them on that. So, and in here, I was confused for a second, lives Summer Sampler by Crochet a Go-Go. So I had shown you the Halloween one. This is the summer one. And this is also on 40 count dark sanditon by Swan by Fabrics. And I started in the bottom right because I wanted to get to that cute turtle. Oh my god, he's so cute. I'm at 5.1% on this. Oh, super, super cute. Look at him. I'm doing it with the called for colors, but in CXC threads as I'm doing the Halloween one, 1/2. And you know what I'm going to say now, right? I'm going to have a problem here. Next. The next one is Summer by Peacock Needlework Designs. I started this June 27th, 2025, and I'm at 20.4%. I really enjoyed stitching on this. It was super fun. This I'm doing on 36 count Dusty Blue Linen by Zweigart. And yeah, I really enjoyed stitching on that. I'm doing the called for DMC 1/2, and I really like how it looks on that fabric. So this will go just in my WIP pile. I did quite a bit on that this year, and I don't feel like it's neglected or anything, so yeah. The next one is again full coverage. It lives in this big bag with pomegranates. No, yes, pomegranates that I bought in Uzbekistan. In here lives A Bright Sunflower Day by Stitches So Beautiful. You can find it on Etsy. And I'm doing all the called for colors in CXC again because I can't afford that many DMC colors. I mean, I could, but yeah, because that many DMC colors are expensive. I think it has over 100 colors. And yeah, I'm doing it on 25 count, easy grid, but 1/1 full cross. And I'm at 1.6%. And here we are. So I started in the middle, and this is part of the house coming in here. I did some parking here just because I didn't want to finish those threads. But other than that, I'm doing cross country. And that's my bag. So do I want this in a WIP go? I think I won't put my full coverage in WIP go next year, just to make it a little easier. And yeah, you cannot do it all, I guess. Then this is one I kind of want to focus on and get it done. It lives in a beauty bag. This was my unicorn. In here lives Chesty Challinor 1904 by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. I saw this and I need to go get it. And then I realized that it was or is an exclusive at the Attic. And I really cannot get to their stuff where I am, but my friend Fanny, Cross Stitch Couture, went to the US for StitchCon, and she was so sweet and brought it over for me. And I then started it on July 19th, and I'm already at 10.1%. So let me check how many stitches are left. I kind of had wanted to get this done by end of June next year, but I don't think this will happen. That's too much. Except especially if I want to do the Rowanberry garland as well. But let's get back to the WIP. So I have it in here because I'm stitching this with the called for 100 and freeze. And I have the 100 and freeze down here and the fabric up here. So I had ordered the fabric that went with the kit, but I didn't like. I thought it was too dark, and I wanted to do 46 count, and I only had 40 count in stock, so I dyed my own 46 count, and I did it in a very light grayish. And here we are. I'm doing the muted colorway. It shows up better in person than it does on the camera. I love how it looks. It's so dainty and soft and perfect. Yeah, I'm at 1%, as I said, and that's it for this one. I haven't stitched on that in a while, but I really love it. I want to get some good progress on this next year, even if I probably won't finish it by June. So this will go here. Next is another huge one. It lives in this project bag where I have put a little part of Dutch Beauty on. This is Summer's Last Crown by Cozy Egg. I saw this and it was an immediate buy as well. It is huge, and that's why I'm doing it on 46 count. And here is what I have so far. This is again one where I have the border done. This is on 46 count, not another sampler by Bestitch Me. And I'm stitching this with my own conversion to overdyed threads. It is charted in NPI and DMC, and I just wanted to do it in overdyed. And I'm going to show you the corner where I have most done. So I'm changing it up a little bit to make sense for my colors and my fabric. And those are what I have been using so far. I super enjoyed stitching on this. I'm already at almost 7%, if you can believe it. So this will definitely go on a WIP board next year. I have no idea how I will manage that. How often can I say that? But we're getting close to the end here. So next one was my birthday start this year. This year I started White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick on my birthday together with my friends Sally Flossy Sews and Grows and Fanny Cross Stitch Couture. And I found the perfect fabric for it. It lives in this project bag that used to house my birthday start from 2023, my chatelaine that is now done. And I am doing White Winter Moth with the call for NPIs on 40 count Barch and Clay by Swan Bay Fabrics. I started in the middle at the huge moth. And here we are. This is another one that's perfect for fill-in, but I am at 13.1% with this. And this is one where I kind of want to finish this by my birthday next year. How many stitches do I have left? 8,000. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that easily. This will have to go into as a focus piece and just figure out how and when to finish this, because that way I can have that birthday start done as well. That would be great. So yeah, the project bag is not perfect, but that's fine. And yeah, this will go to my focus pieces. I have 3 focus pieces, but that's not big. That's fine. Then next up, let's start with that. It lives in this actually handbag, but I'm using it as a project bag. This was an exclusive at the Harvest Moon Hangout at the end of September, a virtual event by Lindy Stitches. and I saw this and knew I needed to have it. This is Perfect Pumpkin Posy by Stitchy Prose. It has cats and autumn, and it's so cute. And this is where I got up to. I'm stitching this on 40 count ancient by Picture This Plus because it was the perfect size and the perfect colors. And I'm using a mix of the called for and my own. So she calls for DMC and overdyed, I think mostly weeks. And a few of them I am using, but a few of them I have others. So I think the cat on the right is weeks oilcloth or something like that. And that was just green, it was a green cat. So I'm using Classic Colorworks wagon wheel for that cat. And yeah, those are my colors. I am at 9.2%. All right, that's that. Then the next one, or the next two actually, are the ones that I don't have in my Notion. I don't know how that happened. The first one is a restart that I'm not exactly happy with again, so I need your help on that. This is Autumn Quaker by Lila Studio. And I had originally started that on a fabric that you couldn't see the threads on because it was too dark. So I now went with a very neutral one. This is, I think, Platinum by Swigart. And I did a whole conversion to sulky because it's 36 count. And I don't want to do that again, the huge thing with 2/2. And yeah, that's my start. I don't know why I didn't put that into Notion because I have quite a bit started. So I really like my conversion. I really like the colors, how they go together. I love stitching with the sulky. That's great. Here are all my sulkies. What I don't like is the fabric. It's so boring. I mean, it's just I don't like this. I don't want, it's also quite stiff. So what I thought I would do, I will wash this by hand, lightly wash this to get the stiffness out. And then I thought of lightly over dyeing it just to get a little bit of mottling and like a brownish mottling on this. But I don't want to restitch this. So I hope it's those colors are not very light. Maybe the yellow will change a little bit. Do you think I could throw this with that into some red dye bath for a quick second or two to make the fabric a little more interesting? Have you tried it before with stitching? Yeah. I mean, I have no started motifs here except that one, and I don't think with the green it would matter that much. Yeah. What is your opinion on that? Maybe that's what was holding me up on putting that into my Notion because I don't like the fabric. So as it is. So input please. Yeah, that would be great. I will put it onto my to-do pile because I need to figure that out, and I want to stitch on that some more before I start winter in December. So my plan is to start winter Quaker on December 21st. And now I know that I don't want to do it on a very boring fabric, which is good to know. All right, the next one. I started sometime at the end of September. Yeah, end of September, somewhere September 26th, 27th. I also don't have it in Notion. I don't know why. I started this with a friend that I met at the Harvest Moon Hangout, Zoe Taylor. It is the Christmas Delivery or Christmas something by, I have it in here. Let me check. This is called Overnight Delivery by X Free Stitch. It was in the Christmas issue of Just Cross Stitch this year. It's so cute. It's full coverage, but I just love it. I saw it and I know I want to stitch it. And I pulled 28 count even weave, thinking I would do it 2 over 2, but then decided to go tiny and started 1 over 1. And I started in the sky, and I have a little bit of Santa's hat here started. Zoe is already finished with hers. Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't touched this in a while. This is actually in my temperature stitching at the moment. So yeah, there's quite a bit of backstitch in this. And since I'm doing this tiny, I think I need to do the backstitch in sewing thread. That should work, right? Yeah. I need to put that into markup. But for now, it goes onto my temperature stitching pile. Not markup. It is in markup. I need to put it into Notion. The battery of my microphone is empty. So I hope the sound is okay like that as well. I really don't want to wait for my battery to be charged, and we don't have that many WIPs left. So I hope it's all right. I have quite a few starts from October. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, I started quite a bit while I was in London and stitched in London and had fun. All of them are small. And one of them should be done today. So the first one was an impromptu start because I had the perfect fabric for it and I had the pattern in my stash. This is Spirited Stump by Hanna Mandala. You can find their patterns on Etsy. So cute. I have this Ada lying around because that was a test dye when I did my fabric for Peacock, Unicorn and the Badger. And I usually don't like to stitch on Ada that much, but I have some leftover bits from when I started and I like using them for testing out while dyeing, even though I know the color comes out differently, but yeah. And I just realized it's a perfect color for that stitch. I just have it in this tiny bag because it doesn't need much. And here it is. He's so cute. I started this October 9th and I'm at 34.5%. It is on 18 count Ada, 2 over 2, because I really wanted this bold and it's not that big, so I can manage. And I had to change the greens because the colors for greens were too, especially the light one, wasn't showing up on the fabric. For this, I only put all the colors on a card that I made because I don't need much for a small one. This is in my temperature stitching because it doesn't have a lot of stitches left. And so this will be finished soon, I think. And it's super cute. So this goes to my temperature stitching pile. The next one is in my Tiny Town bag. I started on October 10th, Halloween Tiny Town with my friends Sally and Fanny and Alex. And for my Tiny Towns, I'm doing all of them that I can fit on 28 count Cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim, 2 over 2. So they're not that tiny, but that's fine. And I think I found a way how I want to finish them. Yeah, so the Tiny Towns are from Heart in Hand, and I am doing all of them in CXC, and I'm changing up the conversion. So they are charted in overdyes. They provide a DMC conversion, but I don't think they're very good. They're very muted, they're weird sometimes, so I'm changing them up. I'm using that as a starting point and then doing the colors that I like. And here we are. So this is my Halloween Tiny Town so far. I started this October 11th and I'm at 34.3%. Yeah. The colors that I'm using are here. I think we already have plans to probably do Frosty Tiny Town in January, but for now I need to get this done. The last one I did, I can show you a finish while we're here, is Honey of a Tiny Town. And I have Seaside and Love, is it Love Tiny Down? The Valentine's one. I have those done. Okay, I think I will put that onto my to stitch pile to maybe get some stitches in on Halloween. That would be nice. Then the next one is in a project bag that I did not make. Yep. Can you believe it? It is in a gorgeous quilted and vinyl front project bag by Ness's Craft Room. And I actually won this at Stitch in London, together with some Blackbird and Hands Across the Sea charts and Kohana scissors. I think the whole room heard me screaming. So happy. So happy. In here lives a stitch that I started in London on October 11th also. This was inspired by a little guy named Willy. We have a little hedgehog living in our garden, and he made a little nest for himself in our garden to hibernate, which is so cute. And now I needed to stitch a hedgehog, and I was looking through patterns and I found that one, and it has a lot of backstitch, but it's so cute. It's not terribly big, and yeah. So I was looking for a fabric in London, and the one that fitted best was 28 count even weave. So I'm doing a 2/2 on the 28 count, and then there is going to be a ton of backstitch, but that's fine. The pattern is by Natalia Orehova. I got it on my bobbin. And yeah, the fabric is from Coffee Craft Fabrics. And there you can see the top of the hedgehog starting to come in, some leaves. Yeah. Yeah. Very autumny colors. This is fun. I think this will stay out as well in November to get some love because it's very autumny. I like stitching on it. Oh, I need to remove. See, that's why I don't like vinyl front bags that much, because you always have to make sure that you don't have any paper sticking to the vinyl. Oh, I'm at 11.7% on this already, not counting the backstitch. 2 more, only 2 more. We are almost done. The next one lives in my temperature stitching as well. This is called All Hallows Eve by Jessie and me. This is charted in Belsois silks. I am doing a conversion to overdyes from Stash. It's a little bit messy. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I just really like this stitch. It's not too big. And yeah, I was looking through my fabrics, and I also started this in London, by the way, on October 12th. And the one that just was perfect for it is the one that is not the easiest to stitch on. I mean, look at that. The fabric is 40 count Sampler Khaki Verdal. It's an even weave by XGU Designs. It looks stunning, I think. I really like it. I also really like the colors I picked so far, but it is hard to see. I won't lie. I don't have a stitch count for that because yes, I got it into markup, but it was a pain. There's 1/1, there's a 1/1 alphabet in here that I'm not going to do on Verdal. I don't know yet what I will put in there. I will figure it out at the end. And then there's some Smyrna crosses that should be in the roof and stuff, but I tried them. You cannot even see them on a fabric that tiny, so I'm just doing regular X's. Yeah. This is in my temperature stitching too. That's why it's in a Q-snap. I really enjoy this. I love how it looks, and if I do it a little bit at a time, I also don't mind the fabric that much. So yeah. Last but not least, my last start so far this year, and probably what I will finish today, maybe, is Happy Halloween by Silver Creek Samplings. I started this October 13th, and yeah, I'm doing it with the cold for DMC, 2/2 on 36 count. Why? Because it looks great and it's not that big, and I look at that fabric. That fabric is one that I dyed myself last year. It was just a leftover piece of 46 count white Zweigart, and I just tested some stuff through in colors and it came out so great. Yeah, this is so fun to stitch. It goes quite quick. I am right now at 71%. And I think I have about 600 stitches left on this. I love it. Like for the cat had actually eyes in the yellow, and that looked so creepy and weird that I made it completely black, and it's just now looking into the moon, which I like much better. Yeah, it's that. I'm so happy with this. I love this so much. Yeah. So that is my last start that I'm going to show you. Is it the last start for this year? Oh, definitely not. I have some plans. I'm going to have to start a Secret Santa stitch that I already know what I want to do. And yeah, so that will be a new start. Then there might be a new start on Halloween for Witching Hour by Caslins. I haven't started that yet, mainly because I'm in the end process of putting it into max stitch to have it in markup. And yeah, I have a huge big pile of kitted stuff that I really want to start, but I don't know when. So let me know if you want to see me go through that kit drawer there. And yeah, so I've shown you 48 WIPs now. By the end of today, we will probably be down to 47, which, as I said, I don't mind the numbers so much. Yeah, it's just interesting for me, all the stuff. So now, quickly, let's go through what I decided, or what I need to decide. So, UFO, Cat Garden by Una Bueno Piezza. I think this needs to go. Focus pieces is Percy Penguin as a Christmas focus piece for next year. That is about 1,000 stitches each month. Then we have White Winter Moth, which has about 8,000 stitches left to finish that by my birthday. So that is about, if I start in January, about 1,000 stitches each month. Should be easy to do. I just can't forget it, but yeah. And focus for the year, Rowanberry Garland. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm going to also start focusing on this a little bit this year and see if I can get it down to maybe 450 stitches every week, which is very doable for me. So yeah, that's that one. And then WIP Go pile. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, sorry. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 if I add the days of Christmas. So a WIP Go board has 25 slots. What I think I will do is put all of them onto my WIP Go board with probably with different goals, maybe percentage goals, like get it to 25% or something, maybe with 1,000 stitches, and some of them I will put twice. Probably the ones that have been going the longest, that have been neglected the most, I will put in twice. And then next year I will also do the 13. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. It's subject to change, of course, but yeah, I think it's manageable. Let's put them in a bag. Basket, I meant. All right, I feel a little bit ruffled, but that is actually it. I managed to get through my WIP parade in one go, almost one go. If you made it to the end, maybe you could tell me what your favorite WIP of mine is, and if you agree with my choices or not. And thank you so much for watching. I won't promise any regular videos. I really hope that I can. I think if I film regularly, if I make it a habit again, it will be easier, but yeah, I hope so. I don't know yet. Thank you so much for watching, for coming back. If you haven't yet, if you're new or if you haven't gotten the chance yet, please like and subscribe, because yeah, that way I can see that you want me to continue and that, yeah, you enjoy what I'm doing here, and it also really makes my day. With that, I won't talk any longer. It has been a while anyways. Thank you so much for watching. I said it already. Let's say it again. I hope you have a wonderful autumn, a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!